Welcome to Manga Countdown. In the last episode, Hyunmoo, a talentless loser, gets transported to Hell and gets a system. In Hell he is killed by a lot of substance such as the air of Hell. After adapting to Hell, he gets a quest to survive in Hell till sunrise. He is chased and killed by different monsters such as goblins and super strong mosquitoes. After surviving in this Hell, he is given a gold box for his efforts. Before he left, the system tells him that he will return back to Hell in 14 days. After returning to Earth, Hyunmoo is saved by Yumin, his co-worker who is a researcher. Currently, Yumin asks Hyunmoo where he got such a crystal moss, because this type of crystal moss can only be found in a 5-star dungeon. Hyunmoo tells her that he wants her to help him sell the crystal moss. Yumin thinks of this as a lot of work because it is hard to find a crystal moss that is as big and as pure as the one Hyunmoo has, so it is going to require a lot of paperwork to sell it. She says if the crystal moss was smaller then it will be easier to sell. While Yumin was talking, Hyunmoo broke the crystal moss. She freaks out and starts to beat Hyunmoo, but he explains that he still has more crystal moss which are bigger. After hearing this, Yumin calms down. Hyunmoo tells her that he has only 2 conditions for him to allow her to sell the crystal moss. The first is that no one can know where the crystal moss comes from, and the second is that no one can know that he is the one selling it. Yumin accepts these conditions. She tells Hyunmoo that he doesn't know the value of the crystal moss that he has. She says that crystal moss of this size and quality is extremely rare. She brings out a picture to show him the difference in the quality of crystal moss that is found in Earth, but Hyunmoo can't tell the difference even after seeing the picture. Hyunmoo decided to go to his house, but Yumin tells him to sleep over. This was odd for him because Yumin only had one bed and she wanted to share it with him. Hyunmoo doesn't sleep until morning. 1 week later, Hyunmoo decided to follow Yumin in order to protect her while she trades the crystal moss. Yumin says it is not necessary that he follows her, but Hyunmoo insisted. He believes that a lot of people who are in this business are insane and can't entrust it, yet someone wanted to buy all the crystal moss he was selling at the highest price. He couldn't believe that such a person existed. When they arrived at the shop where the trade was to take place, Hyunmoo sees a man that looks like a gangster and assumed that he was the man they were there to see. To his surprise, it was an old man called Park Waiso. When Hyunmoo shakes him, he could tell by his grip that this old man was very strong and he couldn't win if they fought. After inspecting the quality of the crystal moss, Waiso sent the money to Yumin and bid Hyunmoo farewell in a respectable manner. Yumin was shocked to see this because Waiso never behaved in such a manner to her. Hyunmoo wondered if Waiso knows he is the one actually selling the crystal moss. After Waiso left, Yumin laughs at Hyunmoo because he believed that Waiso was going to bring out a knife to threaten her. She tells him that he has watched too much movies. She asks him not to worry, instead he should wonder what he was going to do with $1 million. In Waiso's car, he reports to a man that he has obtained all the crystal moss in the market. The man says that for a person to obtain crystal moss of this quality, you have to enter a 5-star dungeon, so he assumes that Hyunmoo is a really strong hunter. The man says that if Hyunmoo is able to enter 5-star dungeons without being noticed, then he has to be a hunter from a foreign group. Waiso says that Hyunmoo has to be a captain-level hunter for him to get this crystal moss. The man tells Waiso that he needs to monitor Hyunmoo and Yumin. Waiso accepts the mission. The man turns out to be Lee Ji-tae. A few days later, we see Hyunmoo working out in Hell. After doing just 150 push-ups, Hyunmoo got tired. This pissed him off because he could do more than 1,000 on Earth, but he couldn't do the same in Hell. Hyunmoo wonders how many days he has spent in Hell because Hyunmoo arrived there before his next quest began. After going back and forth between Hell and Earth, he realized that the time he spends in Hell is equal to the time he spends on Earth. The only thing he couldn't understand was why his location was constantly changing every time he tries to teleport back to Earth. Fortunately for Hyunmoo, the system finally provided an explanation for his skill Battle Helper. It is a skill that controls the user's movement and predicts an enemy's movement. Hyun-soo understands that for the system to give him a cheat like this means that he absolutely needs this skill to survive in this hellish place. He decided to test out the skill on a punching bag. While punching the bag, Hyun-soo noticed something odd. He gradually became better at punching that he completely destroyed the bag. Hyun-soo realized that thanks to the battle helper skill, his movement was corrected and altered to help move smartly. Suddenly the system popped up to give Hyun-soo his quest. The quest was for him to kill beginner scarecrows. Hyun-soo was shocked that the system was giving him a beginner's mission because he was already in level 7, but he still accepted it because he has no choice but to accept it. He goes to find the scarecrows. He enters an underground store and sees a bunch of robots which the system labels as scarecrows. Hyun-soo's only problem was that the robots looked like the ones in Terminator, so he was scared and he suddenly realized that the scarecrows didn't have any levels attached to them. Hyun-soo decided to be cautious, so he took cover and threw his hell darts at the robots, but they didn't move at all. Because they didn't move, Hyun-soo assumed that the robots are like real scarecrows. He decides to attack them. He punched the scarecrow with all his might, but he didn't feel like he hit anything. Suddenly the scarecrow stands up and comes to life. Their levels change to level 7 and they said the sparring at level 1 has begun. After this happens, Hyun-soo realized that the scarecrows matched his own level. The scarecrows attacked Hyun-soo, but he was able to dodge it, and he was thankful that the scarecrows weren't as fast as the goblin he met. After the scarecrows slowly overpowered him, Hyun-soo became pissed and activated his battle helper skill. The scarecrows surrounded Hyun-soo from all angles. They attacked him, but he was able to dodge it thanks to his skill. One scarecrow tried to hold him down, so he immediately punched it, but the scarecrow didn't look like he felt the punch. Instead, the scarecrows switched the sparring level to level 2. The scarecrows held Hyun-soo down while another scarecrow turned him to a punching bag. While he was getting beaten, the level of his pain resistance, body solidity and hemorrhage increased. Hyun-soo was beaten to death by the scarecrows, but he resurrected thanks to his title, Last Man Standing. After resurrecting, Hyun-soo wanted to run away, but he was angry that he hasn't been able to beat even one of them. He decided to bring out a weapon from his inventory. He brings out a heinous club that has a high attack power. He rushed to attack the scarecrows. The scarecrow he attacks tries to block it with its hand, but Hyun-soo destroys its hands with his weapon. After the scarecrow saw what happened to its hand, he started to bring out something from its other hand. Suddenly all the scarecrows bring out weapons and pointed it at Hyun-soo. Of course he got killed. When he woke up, he thought of a strategy. He fought one scarecrow while he tied the rest down. Thanks to his battle helper skill, he was able to pin the scarecrow he was fighting down and punch him at a very fast speed, allowing him to break the scarecrow's body and reach its core. As he was about to punch the core, the sparring level changed to level 3. When Hyun-soo heard this, he stopped and decided to allow the scarecrow to level up, because as the scarecrows became stronger, he gets stronger after defeating them. Unfortunately for Hyun-soo, because the scarecrow became stronger, he was killed in different ways. He was strangled to death, he was killed with a smackdown, and his neck was twisted. After resurrecting, he wondered how many martial arts the scarecrows know for them to beat him like this. Even after getting beaten, Hyun-soo stands up to continue with happiness. He attacks the scarecrow with a punch and uses the martial arts kick the scarecrow used to kill him to destroy its defense. After seeing this, the scarecrow changed its sparring level to level 4. Hyun-soo was happy that he had entered level 4, but the scarecrow suddenly put its hand into his eyes. He fell down while screaming in pain. Suddenly the scarecrow bit his leg. Hyun-soo shouted at the scarecrow in anger. Unfortunately for him, that was the last thing he said before he died. After dying for the 9th time, Hyun-soo realized 3 facts. The first was the scarecrow's combat level ends at level 4, which is why the scarecrow's patterns of attack don't vary anymore. The second was that their patterns of moving is fixed, and third was that there was no need to destroy the scarecrows because they stop moving after taking a certain amount of damage. After realizing these 3 facts, Hyun-soo was able to beat the scarecrows until the sparring ended. he continued to beat each one of the scarecrows until he heard the system tell him he had completed the sparring session for beating the last scarecrow. After clearing the quest, Hyun-soo screamed with happiness. He looked at the corpse of the scarecrow and smiled, before falling. While looking at how messed up his hand was, he couldn't believe that the system called the scarecrows beginners because they felt like they were on the level of a teacher. After calming down, he decided to check the reward for the quest he just completed. Thanks to his SSS rank good luck, he obtained an item called Cradle of Heaven. The item turned out to be a wrapping cloth. But it was a wrapping cloth that was a legendary item which accelerates growth and fully restores any damages in the body. Hyun-soo was happy that it was a legendary item, but he didn't know how to use it. Suddenly Hyun-soo had an idea. He wondered if he will become smarter if he wrapped the cloth on his head. He wrapped the cloth on his head in an embarrassing way, but he quickly removed it after realizing how embarrassing it was. While the cloth was a good item, it was useless to Hyun-soo, who can resurrect from death completely healed. He decided to put it into his inventory and sell it when he returned to Earth. While looking at his inventory, he sees the egg he acquired from dismantling mosquitoes. Since the cloth was one that could accelerate growth, he decided to use it on the egg. He wraps the egg with the cloth, but nothing happens. As he was about to remove it, the cloth started to disappear and the egg began to hatch. At that moment, Hyun-soo realized that he doesn't know what will hatch out of the egg, and if it's a cannibalistic monster, he wouldn't stand a chance against it. Suddenly a bright light shines and the egg hatched. Inside the egg is a small girl who is sleeping on a bed. The girl wakes up to meet Hyun-soo. Hyun-soo was shocked to see the girl. He thought she was a fairy. He tries to pet her, but she bites his finger. He threw her away while shouting that she is a crazy cannibalistic monster. The fairy says she is hungry. Hyun-soo decided to give her candy, but she refuses, and he asked her what she wanted to eat and she pointed to him. He allowed her to suck his blood with a straw. After sucking Hyun-soo's blood, she stopped his injury by licking where he was bleeding. At this moment Hyun-soo remembered that he obtained her from dismantling mosquitoes, so she is a mosquito fairy. After closing Hyun-soo's injury, she calls Hyun-soo a slave and tells him to bring out dessert. Hyun-soo was pissed to hear this, so he grabbed and squeezed her. She apologized to him and decided to call him a butler. Hyun-soo decided to let her go and introduced himself. He asked her what she is, but to his surprise she forgot what she is. Hyun-soo was disappointed and called her a mosquito fairy, but she says she is not. Suddenly, she remembered what she was. She says she is the one who appears at the end. Hyun-soo asked if she was here to save the world, but she tells Hyun-soo that she is the being that promised to eat all living organism at the end of the world. Hyun-soo was terrified to hear this. He wondered if he should just kill her at this moment. Thanks for watching. 200 likes and I will know you want part 3. You can also check out our channel for more recaps. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button. See you guys later.